What's up? We got a trail ride coming up this weekend, and I bought recently this Ktm Exc 300, and I just got parts through mail that I've ordered, so I thought I can make a little bit of step-by-step video how to do basic maintenance on a bike like that. It's Exc 300 2019. And I haven't done probably anything on it. I've never worked on the API, so it's going to be a bit of new stuff, but it's basically nothing on the engine. So yep, I'm going to walk you through everything, hopefully make a short little informative video about the work maintenance on it. And first we have to open the package that I've ordered, that I've got, and we also have to clean it because it's a total mess. I was riding in my little like home trail, and yeah, so it needs to get washed, get open the package, and then get into it. It's really hard to capture with my phone stand, but hopefully you'll be able to see everything. I got a box here. I'm gonna try to put it all on here. It's not too much thing. So I've bought a new chain because the old one is totally like rusted out. Was really cheap chain, and who knows, I'm coming from Czech Republic and it's Czech brand, which is quite cool. I'm living now in New Zealand, so if you haven't watched anything about my KTM before or like previous videos, you should check it out. And if they're not yet on my channel, give me a subscribe and you'll see them soon, because I'm not really sure what's gonna come up first, if this video or the previous video about my bike flipping thing. I bought a new air filter because the previous one was totally fucked up, and it's quite handy to have two of them at least. Then I bought front brake pads because they're gone. I bought rear and front bearings, which they're both gone, needs to be replaced. Then I bought sprocket bolts. They are all rusty, so I bought new ones. Front sprocket, the rear one is okay, front one is bit fucked up, so needed at least front one. This is just for future. It's a spring puller for chain, and not for chain, for exhaust pipe. Then I bought 1 liter of an oil. It needs like 800 milliliters, which should be enough. Hopefully it's all right. It's not a Motor X that I recommend, but you know, we'll see how it goes. We got a filter oil. I got some still left, but you know, it's handy to have more. And then a bleeding clutch tool, because I feel like the clutch is slipping a little bit. So first I'll try to bleed it and then see if it runs. If it doesn't, then we have to replace the clutch as well. First I'm gonna just hose it down with the hose and take the biggest mud of it. On the bottom of the engine there's a lot of grass and stuff, and then I'll probably use the soap on it. I have some wheel cleaner and just brush it down with the brush. When I bought the bike, it had issues with starting. Like the starter didn't work properly, and then it suddenly just died. So I've replaced already the battery, and that helped. I just bought battery from a local battery seller for like $50, and that saved me all of the issues. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to replace the battery one in a year or something at least, or like maybe not so often, but you know, just when you feel like the battery is not working as it should, you should replace it. Especially on the TPI bikes that rely on the battery, like on all of their stuff. Like, you know, if the battery dies, it doesn't run, so it's not that expensive fix to get a bike going again. Now I would like to stand the bike probably on a stand so I can move the wheel. Maybe should have done it before. Now it's all fucked and dirty. Well, we got another thing to fix, I guess. Get the stand back down, and the spring just exploded. I think it didn't broke. It's still okay. You won't probably see it, but maybe I did it because I was pushing on it. Yeah, the bike should have around 400 hours, which is a lot, and I've just swapped it for my SX250 foam gun, which now is still a water gun until I turn on the switch. I'm using some cheap soap from like a Chinese store. It costs like $8 for a liter, so I'm not really expecting much from it, but you know, just for cleaning a dirt bike every now and then. You don't want to be spending hundreds on it because it's just the soap. And it's really nasty. Like, yeah, the engine is not really clean engine. It has a lot of dirt that is like baked to it through the heat and the age of it. So I also bought like a small brush like this, which you can clean the smaller parts with quite nicely. So I'm gonna fill up the bucket. The plastics are from my SX250 actually. One of my conditions for the trade was that I'll keep the plastics, at least the front plastics, and I kept it. I paid him extra few dollars for it, but I think it was worth it because plastics it had was like ugly white ones that were used and not so pretty. Hope it will be clean. I find it personally really satisfying to wash down the dirt bikes. They're just like, you know, seeing the transformation from all being dirty and stuff to clean dirt bike. It's really nice. It's pretty clean for what it was before. It's much better. Can take the plug out and yeah, much better. Just needed the rear wheels to be clean for the bearing change. Bolt here and hole here, that's where you connect the spring, and it's really free. So maybe something else is fucked up, maybe the bolt or something. I'll have a look at it later. You can see it. I was talking about the engine. You can see how like grimy it is. Like, yeah, it's not really clean. The pump is probably leaking as well, but yeah, fuck, I might give it one more wash. The front wheel is terrible. Anyways, I'll cut the video now and continue later. I thought while we have the bike here on the stand, I can try to fix this. So a bit further up the driveway, I found this piece as well. I don't know if you can see it, but that's another piece from the kickstand, which, oh shit, there's a lot of mud here, which was holding on to that. This was here, and this was probably, I can try to put it back, but I think it's the thread. So there's a little hack. If you don't have Torx, I don't know if it's called Torx in English, but in our language it's called Torx. If you don't have Torx that size, which is a really big one, you can just use Allen key and it will fit in the one of the stars points and you can just take it off. I'll probably get a new one. It's beaten, it's still original, and the thread inside here, I'll show it to you soon, it is damaged, so I don't have things to fix it now, and it's some weight reduction, so if I'll be pulling the bike somewhere, it's gonna be easier for me. You can see here it had a small thread which is gone now, and the thread was holding the bracket that I showed you. So yeah, just too much pressure of the spring, and not enough tread. So I'm gonna probably start from this angle. I wipe down the bike a little bit so it's not that wet, but we're gonna first start probably with the chain and the bearing. So what I need to do first is kick in the gear so it stays in there and undo this nut so it's loosened. Then I can unloose it and take it off later on, but I'll just unloose it, take off the chain and take off the rear wheel and start replacing the bearings probably. Yeah, it's 17, and the trick here should be that you should be normal. You should press the rear brake while you're doing this. I'll probably go from the other side. You press the rear brake and then I'm back. The nut is untightened now. The trick was to put it off the stand, sit on the bike, put the gear in, hold the rear brake and just, undo it now. It's loose and free pretty much. I'll just finish this nut later. And it was a 17 size. So what I'm gonna do now is you can see here all of them are same except this one, which is like the clip that holds the chain together. And all you should do is either use pliers or screwdriver and hammer and knock it off, and then you should be able to take off the clip and put new chain in. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Took 2 pairs of pliers. I don't know which one is gonna be better. 2 pairs of or two nuts, 2 screwdrivers and a hammer. See which one is gonna work the best. I might also kick in the gear so it doesn't move too much. So last time I did it was that I pressed it with the pliers. This clip, it's nice to have it in your backpack while you're riding. You never know, it can come off pretty much like randomly, and it's gonna be handy to have it. It's a bit rusty, but doesn't really mean that it's bad. You can buy them, the clip with the connection part, for like $6, but I'm a cheapskate, so looks over the time it's probably originally much more thicker, and over the time it just like gets really thin. So this is the clip. Now we should be able to remove the middle plate, kind of like rivets, and then you get yourself something small. It's really warm, actually, and take the chain off. That's how it looks. I just quickly counted the teeth on it, and it's only 12, which is like insanely small. It's like two teeth smaller than what I bought. So I will probably have to move the rear wheel later on as well closer, so the chain will be long enough. And I think the smaller it is, the faster it is, like in the power terms of power. So I think when I put the bigger wheel, it's gonna act a bit differently. Two thieves is two thieves is a big difference, I think. So yeah, right now I'm gonna probably finish taking off this one and then move on to removing the rear wheel. I forgot to put on my gloves. It's always handy, especially when you're working with dirty bikes. Then it saves you some hand cleaning. I still need to. Oh yeah, just gear should be enough. Just gear and hands. It's also good to grab yourself some container where you can put all your nuts and stuff from the bike so you don't lose it. You don't want to be just searching around. This is the nut with the washer. It's pretty rusty, but still works. This is the wheel. As you can see, for those who don't know how the wheels work and where should you replace them, you can see how the teeth is bended compared to the original one or to the first one, and you can see how much like mess it has compared to this one, and it's also a bit bigger. So we're gonna see how it rides. It's MX Pro, which is like New Zealand bike shop, so hopefully it's good quality. And then in here you should have a like spacer, which you don't really need to necessarily take off if you don't see it, like if you don't see it leaking anywhere. If there's not oil, then it's pretty much okay. We can take some towel and just clean it. I got some brake cleaner. You want to just give it a quick rub, nothing too much because it's gonna get dirty anyways. The plastic slider is you cannot really see it probably here, but it's like getting through the engine case, which is not really nice, and I'll probably cut it with some pliers or something like here, because otherwise it will fuck up the engine case eventually. Or maybe just use the angle grinder and cut it like here, mark it first and then cut it off. You're gonna see it when I cut it off, but this piece is over the time rubbing on the engine case, and it's making like marks in the engine case, which eventually, even though it's plastic, it can make some damage. So it's better to cut it like here. I'll try to cut it off with a knife because it's just... So what do? Instead of cutting it, we take the nuts off, the bolts off, and just remove it all. Cut it off outside the bike and put it back. Just be safe, you know. You have a gas tank here. Cutting here makes a lot of sparks, so you don't want to set your bike on fire just in the workstation or workshop. It's the last thing you want to happen. You can see it's really worn. It has a hole here. It was maybe even original before, orange, but... And what I was talking about is that this shouldn't really be like that. It's a bit worn from the plastic, which is not really good. So as you can see, I took off the rear wheel. You can see it's really messy here, and on the other side it's pretty much the same. The brake pads are still okay, I'm not gonna replace those, and the rear wheel is already here. Thing is that this is the axle, which is really dirty, so it looks like it haven't been cleaned for a while. And this is the spacer. I've honestly never seen spacers like this. I think it might not be the worst, but they're really worn, and I'm not buying new ones right now, but they at least need some clean. And yeah, so this is the spacers. I'm right now gonna take it on the table and remove the sprocket. It's a bit rusty, so I'll at least like kind of give it a bit of clean and try to get the rust off, and then start taking off the bearings. It looks like there was some grease before, but maybe it's just accumulated mud, not really grease. So we can probably start. I'm gonna record now on the 0.5 angle, which I think it's gonna be better for working on the table and showing you everything I do. We need a lot of space. Wheel is quite big, and I want to start with removing the sprocket, cleaning it. And as you can see, I didn't really clean the wheel too nice, but yeah, it has again the same size probably of the torques, which we don't have again. No. So we need our Allen keys. Just always make sure you choose the right Allen key and don't fuck it up. I might tell you what size is it if it tells. No, it doesn't. So Allen key here, and here I reckon it's It's like 14, 13. It's probably 13. Once more. Yep. And I'm not too sure. I won't probably fit it there. But you want to do it on counterclockwise. So we got a bit of problem that the bolts are really rusty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use penetrating oil on all of them, hoping it will do something. In the meantime, I'll try to clean the parts for the rear wheel and start taking the bearings off, I think. So now we can take small screwdriver and pop the bearings off, which I actually can use something like this that is a small hook. I know it's for exhaust, but you can use it easy. That bearings looks completely toasted. This is a seal, which is, you can suppose it's not really, shouldn't look like this. And I think we will need a lot of brake cleaner for the wheel. I'm pretty happy that it came today. It's only Wednesday and the ride is on Saturday. And we got a fucking problem. So we got a bearing, and the bearing has like this clip that you need special tool to hold it together and pop it off. And I actually ordered, not knowing it's here, but I've ordered a tool just to have it. And it's only thing that didn't come through the mail because they sent it from some different location. And you can see the bearing. It's like, you cannot really see it, but if I move it, it's like moving back and forth. It can spin, but it shouldn't be free. And yeah, the bearing is dead. So I'll try to get it off. And if I won't be able, I will have to go to shop to buy the tool today. So what we gotta do now is I'll probably go get a head like this for my socket so I can undo it, and then I'll probably go get a pliers because this clip, as I shown you, it's probably on the other side, but this clip has to be removed by the specific tool for it, otherwise I won't probably get it off. And then I'll probably get something to knock off the bearing with as well. So yeah, it's gonna be shortcut for you, but it's gonna be a little bit of way for me, so I'll be right back. So we are back from the shop, and I'll probably won't continue too much because, as you can see, it's getting darker, and that's my basically only workshop light, so I cannot work really too much when it's dark. I should invest in some light, but you know, I spent some time on it today and I still have like 3 more days to go. I was just thinking I might quickly take off the front wheel as well and do the same thing. I ended up buying the whole set. I wanted to take the bolt with me to measure the size and just buy one, but they didn't have spare ones, and the cheaper sets didn't have too much of size difference, like range to choose from. So I bought a whole set of these ones. It's called Temper Proof Torx. Oh, okay, it's Torx. Okay, so yeah, this should be enough. And while I was there, I also bought this one, which is exactly the same tool I've ordered online that didn't arrive. It's for this. I might show you how it works later on. And then I bought one more measuring cup because I have one that I'm using for my premix oil. And then I've bought this is grease for the axle. I have a grease that is like really shit one. It's like a really sticky one and I don't really like it. So this is like the blue grease, like heavy duty. And if it's blue, then it's usually really nice and should be enough. And then they had a sale for brake cleaner, so I got 2 of them for $18, which is a good price, I think. So I got some more in a stock. Yeah, so I'm gonna try probably undo this one, take it off, and then try to take off the nuts and then see how the lighting is. So I'm gonna put you back on the camera tripod and see how it goes. What's happening with these clips? They are either you push them inside and make them smaller, or you push them outside and make them bigger to put them on a shaft or something. So what's happening, you either need like small, like pushing or pressing tool. So what I did, I bought a universal one, which is probably gonna do both of the things, hopefully, and it just needs to be set it up properly. And you have different heads, like with the thinner holes, then you have like the bended ones. Already some, there's another one which is like in a medium angle, hard to see. We got them switched, now they're looking like this, and when I push it, it takes it apart. I think I hopefully have them the right way. I'm not really actually sure if I do, but it's basically doing the movement I would like it to. The black glove doesn't help. So what I'm gonna do now is, no, I'm stupid probably. I think I didn't do it the correct way. I'm just gonna stop it now. So I think I'm gonna cut out the video now here and probably continue tomorrow or some other day when I have time free and keep making on it. I'll probably take off the sprocket, but you already saw how I'm doing that, so don't really need to see it. Also, what could be useful can be to clean the hole for the clip, so it gets back easier and it's not holding onto any dirt, because as you can see, that's what is inside the hole. So you know, just make it clean. Oh, we got another day. As you can see, it was much worse day than yesterday. It was raining a lot today, and it's only like 4:45 or something, and it's already really dark, so I don't have much time to work on the bike again. I was at work, so didn't have much time. I've stopped recording yesterday and took out the bearing from the front, and like took out the front wheel. I had to move the bike really like much more backwards, because the weight was in the front and it was like tipping over. So yeah, now the front wheel is off. I cleaned it and take off the bearings. The front bearing didn't have the clip, so that was easier and it wasn't holding really tight. I'm doing the front one mostly like just as a regular service, not as because like, you know, it was destroyed. This is the front one, which is much better than the rear one, and it wasn't really wobbly as the rear one, but you know, when you do it, then it's better to do it. So yeah, as you can see, this is the rear one and it's terrible. And yeah, so what we have to do now is probably put in the bearings, and if I'll still have some time, if it goes easily, which I really hope it will, I'll put the front wheel in and already change the brake pads, and that will probably it for today. And if I still have some spare time, then I will probably just change the filter and leave the um, change of the chain for some other day with the rear sprocket, because I don't really have much time. And as I said, we have still like 2 days till the ride, so I have heaps of time. So yeah, I'll put you on a stand and start working. So as I said, we're gonna start with the front bearings, and they're from a brand Rolex, which is the bearing, and Pro Seal is for the seals. That's all you have in the set, and we are gonna start with the front one. There's also, again, in the front, there's the inner tube that is sitting between the bearings. This one is a bit thicker than the rear one. This is the rear one. The rear is also, actually, I'm not 100% sure it's this one. I did it yesterday, but I already forgot. But I think this was the rear one. I have to look at the video I made yesterday, but this is the rear one. It's a bit thinner and shorter. And yeah, I gave them both good clean, and they're just sitting in the middle and holding the axle in a position kind of. And then there was also axle, which was lubricated well, and it wasn't as bad as the rear one, and it had like these spacers, which I think they're really well produced, because they are like, they were sitting on in really tight and holding it all together, and didn't like, I think they're stopping a lot of dirt coming in. Yeah, so that's what was there, and now we can start working on the bike. Here you got two bearings, two seals. So as I was saying, I'm doing everything like as I as I can. I'm trying to do it good, but you know, you don't have all the professional tools and stuff. I don't have heat gun, which would be really helpful. And what you should do is that you should heat this hub like with heat gun with flame, or pretty much anything, any heat gun. And then as you heat it up, you froze these ones, or like prepare these ones in a freezer. This is heated, and then quickly take this one out of the freezer and slide them in, and they should go in like really easily. So yeah, I don't have a heat gun. I have a freezer, but yeah, I'll just probably try to get a good size of. Oh shit! Oh, we might have a problem, because you need something to tap it in with, and my biggest nut is this size, which is just about not fitting, which could be a bit of problem. It's right about, so I might try to do it like tap 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 and go slowly, but not 100% sure if it will work out. Oh shit, I haven't thought about it, and you can probably use the old bearing, to be honest, and put it on top of it and knock it down, but yeah, we'll see. So doesn't really matter which side you start with, but I'll try to use the old one. Might be enough. Um, then you got some dead blow, which is rubber hammer and normal hammer. I'll probably start with the dead blow, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Let's see how it goes. So the bearing is inside. I might zoom it a little bit more, and as you can see, it's sitting as it was before. Now I'm just gonna put a seal in and change the sides and do the same thing on the other side. So I won't probably record it, but I'll show you when I'm done. So we got this side in, which was much more easier than the other side for some reason. But um, as an amateur who doesn't have that much skills, I'm gonna tell you that it helped to spray. It was penetrating all. I didn't want to look for something more fancier, but I sprayed this in at least a little bit, like on my finger, and then just like rubbed it around, and then put the bearing in, and it would definitely help to have the size of the sockets to put on it. But as I don't have it, I use this small one, and don't tap it like too much on one side. Just hold it on here and start going like around, and slowly tap it. I found out that the rubber hammer works really well, so it's in. And also I forgot to tell you that I use little bit of grease, just a little bit on the bearing to stop the mess coming inside. You shouldn't probably need it, but you know, it's always handy to have a little bit of grease on it. Side same, and yeah, I don't really probably. Oh yeah, I'll just use the rubber hammer again to push in the seal. Of course, if you have any ideas or something that I should have done better, you can definitely let me know in my comments, and I will like learn from it. That's how you should do it, probably. Just like listen to the more skilled ones, and yeah, everything I've learned was through like videos I watched on YouTube or I did before. But I had a couple of the bikes that I always worked on myself and did some engine rebuilds and stuff, but never anything on the professional level. So I'm always learning something. So yep, there we have it. It's really nice that I fucking put it that I put it here on the table, but I forgot to put it inside. So we have to take probably this one because it was going easier. I'll take it out, put this one in, and hit it in again. Shit. Yeah, we have to do it again. I'll probably skip it. You don't have to see it and then show you when I'm done again. So here we go again. This is actually the other side. It was quite easy to knock it out. I'll just destroyed a little bit of the spring on the seal, which you always should be careful of not to. If you're pulling some seal that you want to use, you should be really careful because the seal is like this frame of the rubber seal, and then there's like small spring that is holding it together. Or like, I don't know how to explain it in English because it's not my not my language and it's hard to explain this technical stuff, but should still work. It's just the front wheel. So anyways, and the bearing is untouched. So what we have to do now, I actually didn't have to check the video because this is too long for the front hub. So it's this one, and then you should just drop it in as so. Take out everything from under the wheel. Just move it. There's like no way you can fuck this up actually. So yep, it's sitting in. And now we do the same process again. Put the bearing in, hit it in, and put the seal in. I'll be right back. We got our bearings inside. There's next step that we have to put these spacers in. I just checked them and they're identical, so it doesn't really care which one is going where. And my battery is actually running low, so I'll just walk it through and then do the same thing actually in the rear wheel, and then probably just go home and continue recording tomorrow because I want to have it captured on the footage, and I don't just it was a long day anyway, so at least something done, and I'll continue tomorrow. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of, this is the inner part that is going in the bearing, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of grease on it again. And one more thing I wanted to say is that I'm using right now the grease I bought yesterday, which is this one. It doesn't really matter the brand, but this is the heavy duty grease. It's blue one. And before I was using like some general purpose kinochrome, and that was like terrible. I've always like these blue ones, these ones, and this is like white one, and it's really hard to explain, but it's like a glue. Like this one is not staying on your finger or anything, but if you pull it, it's just, I don't know, like maybe that's how the grease should work, but this is much better to work with because you don't make such a mess. You see where you put it because it's white. This is just like, I don't know, like if you ever think about buying this brand, I don't really recommend it to. And that was just last thing I wanted to say. And yeah, always recommend, if it's blue, it's usually good. I've never had blue grease that was bad, so I don't know, it doesn't really care probably about the color, but that's just my thing. So I'll probably just record while I put these in. You don't really have to put, this is like the amount I'm putting on it. It's just like really small thin layer, and just put it around here and put it inside. It is really handy to have the blowback, that blow, because you damage it much less than with normal hammer. And my battery is dying and the light is coming off, so yeah. There we go.